Hi, I'm Brenda Green, the notorious Brenda Green. And I say that with, oh my God, the biggest laugh because it's ridiculous. Totally and utterly ridiculous. I want to talk to you about Buckhannon, West Virginia. And then there's some subsequent towns as well that are located near there. And I want to tell you what I know about those towns. Buckhannon, West Virginia is a really pretty town and has a very nicely accredited college called West Virginia Wesleyan. But unfortunately, that's about all it's got going for it, because the infrastructure is flawed. The city council and various police are corrupt. And therefore, the people see that they're corrupt, so a lot of the people are corrupt and dirty. Now recently, in the last year, give or take, there has been a couple men murdered in Buckhannon. There's a Mexican man by the name of Rodolfo Villagomez, which, by the way, is not his real name. It's his alias. And he ordered the hit on a couple of men because those men were messing with his wife. And you think to yourself, that's all it was. He just lost his mind and had somebody kill these two men. That's not true. What the truth is yes, he ordered hits on these two people. That is true. But he's living in a world in Buckhannon, West Virginia, where there are people out there that will shoot you and they will hurt you. They will drug you. They will sabotage your property. They will sabotage your house. Hell, they'll burn your house down. They don't care. Because they are selfish and greedy. And they want what you worked so hard for to earn. Now, I can explain to you what I know because I lived there. Chino, as they call him, or Rodolfo Villagomez, was brought to the United States from Mexico by Rose Harrison. In fact, she brought quite a few illegals into the country to work at her restaurant in Buckhannon. She had a Mexican restaurant called Carmona's. Now, what I also know is there's a deputy sheriff that picked Chino or Rodolfo Villagomez up from the airport when he arrived in from Mexico. Now, I've heard that Rodney Rawlinson is related to Chino or Rodolfo, whatever you want to call him. And I don't know that that's 100% true. What I do know is that he went to work for Rose. Chino went to work for Rose as soon as he got there. And she shared her recipes with him. And she even put money in to fund his restaurant. And not too many people know that. But I do. And I'll tell you how I know. Because Rose Harrison had a house on 77 South Canala Street. And I took over the house on a land contract because she was filing bankruptcy. And she was going to lose the house, and it was going back to the bank. Now, what's interesting about Rose is even though she filed bankruptcy and everything, she has a restaurant in Morgantown, West Virginia with her brother. What's interesting about that is that her brother and his wife didn't have 2 pennies to put together. In fact, they were living with Rose in her house. And she was supporting them. And she's filed bankruptcy, and from everything I know about bankruptcy, she's supposedly broke. But yet, she's funding Chino. She's funding her brother's restaurant, which is really hers. So to me, she's not broke. And I do know that Jerry Morrison works for her. And I have seen her pay him thousands of dollars, even after she was bankrupt, to move her things, to do all kinds of things for her. Now, I'm going to sit here today and I'm going to try to explain to you the associations between all the people in the crime ring that's in Upshur County alone that I know about. And you'll see that it stretches not in just Upshur County, but out into Randolph County and so on and so on. Now, Rose Harrison, as I've explained, was buddies with Rudolfo Vallagomez. She's also buddies with Jerry Morrison and Katie Morrison. Now, everyone knows about old Jerry Morrison. He collects a lot of cash under the table, and he goes in and renovates people's houses. But he screws them up really badly, or he doesn't even finish them, and he absconds with your money. And I am pretty sure, from everything I know, because he has a big-ass safe in his garage, and I have seen stacks and stacks of cash, that he's avoiding taxes on a major scale. Now, his wife, which is Katie Morrison, she had come to me and asked for a job, because I owned a boutique. Because she didn't want to work out at Stonewall Jackson anymore, because she couldn't stand on her feet so much anymore. And she had told me that she had worked for H&R Block, so she could do the store's taxes. Well, boy, what a disaster that was. And actually, I had met them before, and knew them from before, when we had bought our first house over in Elkins. Because a girl that worked for us, and her husband's a deputy sheriff, she had brought Jerry Morrison to our house to put the crown around our ceilings, which, by the way, he never finished. And his excuse was it was because we smoked. But yet, he collected the money, but never finished the work. Well, it just goes on and on and on. It would take me all day to explain all the small details of everything. You would become extremely bored. But the point is, the reason I'm giving you these names is I want to try to pinpoint on the most important parts so that you people understand who they are, what they are, and who you're dealing with. Now, we bought Rose Harrison's house. She filed bankruptcy, kept the house out of bankruptcy, and the mortgage holder was Freedom Bank. And then, of course, I've explained to you that Katie Morrison and Jerry Morrison were friends of Rose Harrison's. And Jerry worked for Rose. And what's even really interesting about the association between these three people is it was said that Jerry was having an affair with Rose. And I talked to Katie about it, and she said she didn't give a damn if he was having an affair with Rose or not. Because she wasn't going to divorce Jerry. She was too old to get a divorce and split everything up. And what I can tell you about Katie is she's a leech. She's a gold digger. The whole time I've known her, it's always been, buy me this, buy me that, hide it for me so Jerry won't find it, and I'll pay you back. That's the way the whole relationship was. And, I try to be a good friend. I tried not to believe what people were telling me, that she was a gold digger. But you know what? I wish I had listened. Now, Katie Morrison, I had sold a property